What they were called again? What were they? Conscience clothing?
No, this is for his watch. His watches. I did one of the watches for him.
Okay.
All right, let me find the video so I can
He's
share
like,
it.
how much I gotta pay you, man? I said, no, just give me one of them things.
He said one of them things.
Yeah.
It's cool. It looks like it'll last forever.
Yeah, the old. I gotta reap shit or whatever. It's leather. So it's pretty cool. I like it, man. I like it a lot.
Fashionable.
Yes.
All right, now I can tag you in the vibe then.
Yes, please tag me in the vibe.
I can tag you in the vibe, soldier.
Boy, that little bit of sleep I had just made me want more sleep.
Because you have the itis now that you ate.
Oh, you know.
That's when you're old.
You see my eyelids already gone down.
That's when you know you're old.
Hey, granny.
Well, yeah, she didn't expire. Hey, beyond old.
Boy, me and mommy was sitting talking about her the other day, boy.
Rena?
What? You just carry on by, yo.
Yeah, that's my Jack.
That's your dog, eh?
Yeah.
Boy, look here.
That was my Jack.
That's my dog, too, boy.
This the real tag, right?
Yeah, I can do it right now.
So if your Grammy knew that you were calling her a dog, she'd be like, what are you talking about,
She
boy?
probably hit me with something.
Dog?
Come on, she get it. She get it.
Yeah,
You
boy,
just gotta
yeah.
explain it,
She
you
be
know?
hippie.
Yeah, man.
I tell you, even to the house, dog, when I go to the house, it still don't feel right, you know.
You see this?
It's up to this day, when I go to the house, and Rena's house, it still feel like it's like ain't no closure, man.
Well, I mean, it feel normal to me. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I didn't come to grips with, listen,
Yeah.
everybody gotta die, you know?
Yeah, it's grips. It's just that it's
One thing you ain't gonna die.
It's still
That's it?
it's
I ain't tagging you in the actual video yet, but
that little
in
presence,
live.
you know, like you're so used to that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I guess maybe I used to be there so much,
Yeah.
and then, you know, I there when she ain't there, when she was living, and
Well,
so
see,
I used to.
I don't remember a day not being in the house and she wasn't there.
See, that's the thing.
You know, and you're like, Adrian. That's all I used to hear.
Yeah, that's my dog. You know, we born not too far apart too.
Smitty,
Yeah.
you in April too?
I July 20th.
Adrian
She
in
is
April?
July.
Oh,
Not
you
Adrian,
in
but
Reno.
a dog,
You talking
Madrina.
Oh,
She is July 26th.
oh yeah, that's my dog, boy.
Yeah.
She made sure she come up to my wedding in Chicago, boy.
Yeah?
Yes, boy, she's right there, President correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait,
man.
where your phone is, Stevie?
In my pocket, boy.
You have to do that for him, whatever it is.
I know.
What are you trying
I
to
tell
do?
him I still surprised
Share something on your network.
He's speaking this phone. I surprised.
It's an accessory like his leather bracelet
You
thing.
don't do nothing with it, right? What you need my phone for, bro?
No, I was gonna tell you buy data, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna tell you share the video.
I telling you, give him your phone one time.
Yeah, I'll share.
I'll share it.
He know how to do it. Use me
Yeah,
on
right.
Facebook.
No.
Well, you
I
mean
died
you
you in
mean
it just
share
now. Yeah. When else you can share chat now? So they could watch it live. People like watch things live.
I've only been on Facebook for flicking.
Since 2016, eh?
No man, this players be on Facebook. Well, he ain't been on for recently though.
Yeah,
You used to be on a lot more.
Yeah, but I
Before.
kinda, like just let it go.
Yeah, you used to be on a lot more.
And you could put your phone on silent too. You know how to do that?
Ooh. Y'all hitting on the old nigga.
The grandpa man.
Yeah, hey, if you're old, man. Hey, being old is a good thing, you know.
No, I don't know. When do you get old exactly?
Order to who?
Who knows?
Everybody?
Yeah, man. Well, you can limit that. All right.
You tagged the thingy.
Yeah, I tag you in it. You see it?
I will.
Or if you just go to the page, you will see it right there, and then you can share it.
Okay.
It's the Under the Rug podcast page. All right, I didn't share it. Oh, let me go back and kick it.
Oh,
You see it?
I hear talking. I thought I had it on silent.
There you go.
You look
Yeah,
so
that's it right
fancy.
there. So you can share that.
Share.
Mm-hmm.
I put on the notifications as well.
Okay, cool. All
I
right, then.
shared it on Eula.
So you don't?
Just on Eula?
I said no.
You don't? Why share that down, you and stop playing, yeah?
Being a fool. No. You gotta care.
You get raw out
Masi.
if she watching. Stevie? You know I'd want to watch your video.
How come you didn't share it?
Oh, jeez.
Why didn't you let me know?
All right, let me kick it off. All right, welcome back Under the Rug. And this is a special edition. I know you're not used to us broadcasting on a Monday, but I saw something over the weekend, and I felt compelled to go ahead and do this episode because it was a post somebody made about an issue, and I guess I'm kind of late because I haven't been on Facebook too much lately, but it was a video circulating. I'm not sure if it was last week or week before, whenever it was, an unfortunate video, and apparently it was involving I've seen different ages. I've seen from 12 to 14-year-old girl participating in, basically pornography. And I'm hearing that it was a grown man in his 30s that was participating with her. Now, there are so many things wrong with this scenario, but we're gonna touch on each one of them. We're gonna break it down. First of all, I had an issue, and I went last night. I think it was. I went on the official, what seems to be the official news network now, Bahamas News Mumbai. I went on the post that they made about the issue about a week ago, and just went through the comments so I could get a feel of what people were saying about the issue, and I was blown away by how many people were actually requesting for people to send them the video.
Yeah.
And this is them knowing that the child is underage that's in the video. And these are grown men and women requesting that people send them the video so that they can watch it. And so it's many things that's disturbing about this situation. So I just wanted to have a discussion about it. And joining me today, Terneille, I think this is your first time under the rug.
Yes.
This is your first time.
I've never been under a rug before.
Wow. But you've been busy, man. You campaigning and doing all kind of stuff. So, I appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and have this discussion. But when I saw the issue, my mind immediately went to you, because this is basically a cause that you've been championing now for I don't know how many years, but you've been fighting for the rights of children and women, just the most vulnerable people in this country. And so my mind immediately went to you, and I had to have you on to have this discussion because I felt that you would be one of the most qualified people to discuss this issue. And also we have Stevie returning. Stevie, you've been here probably about 3 or 4 times or so.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah, so you've been here before. And you are a father of 3 daughters.
Three daughters.
3 daughters.
And one granddaughter.
Yes. Now. So I thought it would be interesting to get your perspective. I'm also a father of a daughter who's 4 years old. She isn't that old yet, but you have grown women now as daughters. So I was just interested in getting your perspective on the issue as well.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have this discussion. Terneille, when did you first hear about this situation, and what were your immediate thoughts upon hearing about it?
I think I heard about it maybe a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And my immediate thought was, not this again. Mm-hmm. Because this is not the first time that something like this has happened. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of caused me to wonder if we're now getting to a place where our society is so, not even desensitized, but another level, and we're so excited by salaciousness.
Yes.
That we would just perpetuate this whole process as opposed to acutely saying, hey, this is what we should be doing. Mm-hmm. This is where you should be sending this information. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't want it. Yeah. Get it away from me.
Amen.
We don't feel that.
Right.
No.
Not en masse, at least.
No.
And I have a problem with that.
Me too.
Because I feel in our hearts we want to do the right thing and try to help in terms of ensuring child protection and all these sorts of things. But the conditioning is also towards this whole idea that Randy Frazier can sleep with a 16 or 15, whatever age that person was, mm-hmm. get a few years in jail, come back out, and go start a church again.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the Bahamas we living in.
Yeah. Yep.
So let's just get real right now and break it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That this, in quotations, Christian nation
mm-hmm.
has a problem.
That
we sweep under
the rug all the time too, especially when it comes to this issue. Yeah. Because I haven't heard about it in mainstream media or any news outlet.
Right, I haven't heard of any arrests.
Exactly, I haven't heard of any arrests, investigation.
Of the grown ass male that's going to be messing around with some underage child.
Well, just to be fair, I don't think the media would, not the legitimate, mainstream media. I don't think they would. They might, if some other story were to come from it, but they would have to probably wait due process.
Right.
But one of the first things I did when I found out further information as to who the young lady might have been was WhatsApp ACP Stephen Dean, and I verified with him yesterday that the process has begun towards the investigation. So I don't know exactly how the process looks, what we should expect in terms of phase 1, phase 2, and all of this sort of thing, but I do expect That someone will be found and someone will be arrested and charged.
Yeah.
But doesn't it seem very slow, though? Because we're talking now at least a week or two ago, but we have yet to hear of anybody being taken in for questioning or anything. But, I mean, they pick up Omar Archer like that the other day because of, I guess, the salacious things he said about the current governing party. Like, they pick him up like that, but we can't find either the girl or the man that's partaking in this video. So it seems as though these things don't get prioritized. They're not at the top of the list. It seems like they always brush to the side, or whenever we get to it, we'll get to it. And I think these are the things that are supposed to be at the very top of the list, because this is the future of the country.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with our young girls.
Yeah.
Stevie, what about you? When was the first time you heard about it? And what was your initial thoughts when you heard about it?
I was disgusted. I was at work probably like a week and a half ago, I think. And the first thing I heard was my colleagues scuffling, "Oh, you seen the video? You seen the video?"
And they were excited about it.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Video of what?" And it was of blankety blankety blank, blah blah blah, doing blah blah blah. And first of all, you want me send it to you? Was the next word? I'm like, "Well, wait, hold it." No, that was my answer. No, you can't send that to me. That's pornography.
Child pornography.
That's child pornography, and you promoting it. And then the first thing they do is and then the next thing they do is they have a disgusted, like, "Yeah, it was nasty, right? I know they could do that," and blah. I'm like, "But you."
They backtrack because your stance overpowered theirs.
I'm like, "But you watching it, and you gonna send it to somebody, because somebody sent it to you. Now you gonna ask me if I seen this? No, I don't want to see that shit. I don't, that ain't that's." Anyway,
it's criminal. First of all,
yes,
it's criminal.
to share.
It's disgusting. It's Come on, okay, Terneille, you touched on it from the jump. You said, number one, we desensitized. We don't even know right from wrong in this country no more. How in my right mind am I going to send something like that about some little girl doing such and such? How is it that some grown man gonna film himself? Well, at least thank you for the evidence, sir. But
how he put his face on.
How is it that his face wasn't on?
I don't know. I haven't seen it, but from what I've heard, it seems as though only her face was on the video. Jeez. It wasn't his face. You know what I mean?
Freaking coward.
I don't want any details. Just like you said, the expediency with which this particular activist or whatever his claim to fame was arrested should also exist with the investigation in this matter. So they could find this guy. I guarantee you they could find this guy.
Well, I hope so.
I hope so. They find him fast.
Because
I mean, if they interviewed a child, unless he has threatened her or whatever the case might be, why wouldn't she reveal who it is?
But then again, like you said earlier, this isn't the first time, right? This happens, I would say, on a very consistent basis. It's just that all of them aren't on camera.
Yeah.
But this type of thing happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how come we don't hear about the males in those situations being hauled before the courts or arrested or perpetrated in those cases?
Yeah.
So how can we be for certain that in this case we're going to receive justice when we have past cases where there seems to be no justice in those cases?
You know what my question is? Someone like Tavari or some legal person might be able to help with this, but what is the process to go to the courts or whichever agency it is to access information regarding cases that are either pending or have already been tried? Because I think that we have access as the general public to that information. We just probably need some dedicated civil society group that does this sort of research, because Duran asked a bunch of questions like this as well.
Yeah.
What's going on? Whatever happened to that case? What became of it? What was the outcome? In the technological age that we're in, some of it probably is online, but a lot of it we might have to go through some red tape to get particularly when the trial is still happening or if they hit some sort of stalemate or something. So I would like someone to take that on. If anybody's listening who has time and is familiar with the whole system, because it would be good to kind of do a checklist of, hey, this case was brought to court. This was the outcome.
Right.
That sort of thing. And see what type of trends there might be as well. Because, I know a few years ago there was in 2014, I believe, October, we did the protest where there was a man who was convicted of raping a 6-year-old girl and got a 5-year sentence.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So we went out and we did the protest, and I tried to reach the public prosecution person, was unsuccessful in trying to reach them by email, phone, or otherwise, because there apparently was a 21-day window in which that sentence could have been appealed. But that expired because we weren't able to reach them. And
21 day?
yeah, you have 21 days after the.
That's it?
Yeah, after the sentence is issued, apparently. So, you know, as civil society, there's more that we can do. We just need to understand what we can do,
Right.
and start to really
Yeah.
roll it out in ways that make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And there's some other aspects of the situation I want to discuss as well, because going through the comments, I was just reading, you know, how women were reacting, and it's like they were almost, it's something we do commonly here, and we start to blame the victim. It's like, well, all these hot young girls nowadays, and they even started to comment on her performance in the video, and many people were saying like,
what kind of performance?
I don't want to hear these.
it's like they were saying based on her performance, you could see this in her first time, almost like she deserved it, or this ain't no shock or no surprise. But this is where we're at. I mean, people don't want to have these discussions, but this is where we are at as a nation. These are the discussions that are being had on these serious issues. People are actually saying, based on her performance, they could see that she experienced. This ain't no new thing for her. You know what I mean?
So people couldn't have thought that perhaps she was experienced illegally as well? Like someone who was not a minor as well was the person who coached her or coerced her into being able to perform these particular activities? Or she's probably been a victim of child sexual abuse from much younger than whichever age this is. She showed up on this video.
More than likely.
And that doesn't indicate to you that this is an even worse problem than you trying to make it out to be. Someone chastised me.
Really?
Why are you calling in the police? You need to go sit down because you already know that this blah, 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 blah.
You kidding me?
Running out. Quentin Brennan, I think is his last name. It was on a post that he had. Why y'all running out, blah, blah, blah. I say, sit down. No, thank you.
On this particular issue?
Yes.
You gotta be kidding
me. A few days ago. I wish I could look up the post and find a name to call her out. The other day as well, before all of this, I used to do marketing. I was a marketing manager for Abaco Markets for Solomon Supercenter. I like Solomon's. But there was some young man who worked in the back who I overheard speaking loudly about the experience that they have with young girls and saying, oh, that's the best and blah, blah, blah. And then somehow I buck one of them through the corner. I give him such a stink eye. He say, oh, sorry, miss. And the next one was like, no, man, that's all it is. I say, yeah, all right. Rape culture in this country is real.
Yes.
Rape culture in this country is real. Sex with a minor is rape.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
That's what it is.
It is.
It's nothing else. So call it what it is.
It is.
And
it's
let's
criminal.
get serious, okay?
Yeah.
When you talk about things related to child protection in this country, not enough people care. We
Exactly.
allowed Marco's law to just go unenforced, unestablished, no registry, nothing.
You know what we care about?
I don't know what we care about. Being entertained by foolishness?
Yes, we care about
Customs
entertainment.
Pre-clearance. U.S. Customs pre-clearance. That's what we care about.
People who have money to spend, eh?
No, we just care about that. You take that away, there'll be huge protests outside.
You think so?
But anyway, I won't get back to the matter. I just was being cynical. I was being real silly, but
No, but
it's sad.
Yeah, it is, and
sad.
and I was just, and also something else that was quite disturbing. You also know that we are, I say we are a violent nation. We are very violent.
Yeah.
Because I seen the reaction of mothers, and they was talking about where they would put their foot in terms of their daughters if they were to be involved in anything like this. It's just their reaction was, I will beat up my child or break my child up. It's no consideration for why this girl is making these decisions and how you can actually resolve it. It's just instantly to violence.
Yeah. And why is it that the guys always, we seem to get what's the word I'm trying to find? We there's no.
You absorb the man of it, like we
absorb of all wrong every time. Yeah, every time.
Why are you dressing that way? You must
Thank
have been looking for it.
You know
why did you allow yourself to get tipsy?
You know, if you're wearing that, you expect us? You asking?
Yeah.
Well, you went on a date with them.
Thank you.
What did you expect?
How is it that we're being absorbed of it? All men. Even when I was in high school 100 years ago, if a girl got pregnant while I was in high school, and it could have been from a teenage boy also. Guess who couldn't come to school?
Yeah, the girl got put out.
Yeah, and guess what happened to the dude if they find out about him? Only if they find out. Because if they don't find out, then he's scot-free. But still, the boys are still being absorbed. From this level, we're being absorbed of anything. I mean, I told my son from the jump, I said, dude, You get a girl pregnant, you pregnant.
What happens to the boy when they find out he impregnated a girl?
I've never found out.
Oh, okay.
And
Well, I mean,
that's the thing. I don't know.
Let's be objective. For obvious reasons, the
Girl can't
is
come
the
to school.
carrier,
Right.
so she's going to show.
Yeah.
So that's going to cause a certain level of.
Yeah, but I've never heard of a young boy, if his parents find out him being punished, or not punished, but him having to
There being
some consequences.
assume
Yeah.
responsibility. I've never seen it.
Perfect phrasing. Assuming
Yeah,
responsibility.
I've never seen it because
Maybe he should go to the same like parenting classes or whatever
that's
it
what I
is.
say. I said that if he is found out, he should have to go to every doctor visit.
Mm-hmm.
He should, once the baby is born, he should have to have at least every other weekend where he's got to keep the child or be with the child, help with the responsibilities if he ain't living with the girl. I mean, if he's a teenager.
He should get paternity leave.
Why not?
Hey, now you just listen off these things. I'm thinking like legislatively.
Yeah.
If these are sensible, they should be actual amendments to whatever laws exist.
Yeah, why not? I mean, men should get paternity leave. But the thing is that I'm trying to just say from that level, because we seem to grow up where the guys just run off scot free after they do whatever they want to the female, and the girls left with the young girls are left with the responsibility as when dudes outside playing basketball.
But that instance is different when you have minors who are doing it versus someone who's actually raping a child.
Now, I ain't even get to that because I just think that's number one. I think rape, like you say, rape is rape. There's no sugarcoating it. There's no nothing. And a dude, a male that rapes a female should go to jail.
Point blank.
That's point blank.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Also receive mandatory evaluation and therapy and whatever prescriptions might exist. Because
that's what-
I
well,
think this
you know
is
what, but
more
that's
than
what the-
just a physical.
That's what the prison's supposed to be now. They call it
hopefully he gets
Department of
some
Corrections,
rehab.
eh?
Great. I hope he gets some rehab, but I think that there should be. I think of the punishment first. I'm sorry, that's a sick act.
Now, for me, right,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people think of punishment first. So even when they talk about capital punishment and things like that, that just is like, hey, this is a quick fix. At least we know they got punished and they won't do it again. But for me, I'm always like, how much has this country invested in preventative measures?
Right.
How much?
Zero.
How many chances have we given people
Yeah.
who might have had the propensity to do the wrong thing to
Yeah.
do the right thing?
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, I'm like, okay, in a utopia, can we find some way to reach out to these people who might have a propensity towards whatever it is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let them sign up willingly to get analysis, treatment, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then have them sign some agreement where if they ever go off and do whatever wrong,
Yeah.
they have to be submitted, something.
Yeah. But I can tell you this,
Something.
and this I ain't trying to counter nothing, but most dudes can say, they don't got no problem.
Well, I
This
don't know.
gal is
Have we
dressing.
tried
She's
it?
she hot.
Would
She's
he-
a
would-
little
would-
hot little
would
gal.
that
Anyway,
speak
'cause
to us?
she was doing everybody, and all them niggas in her.
But what that is that
I'm
that
just
speaks
saying.
to the problem with our culture.
Right.
We have a cultural problem.
Yeah.
And I think
not
one of
saying-
our commenters is saying the same thing. She says, Mirelle Hutchison says that's the patriarch nature of this country, and it's so sickening.
Yeah.
It's just that it is a patriarchal society, and men and women are held at different standards. Clearly,
Of course.
You
know
can
what I
wear
mean?
your shirt off at the beach, and I can't.
clearly, I probably could wear my singlet to go register to vote, but you
Yeah,
can't.
but
do
you
that.
can't.
I
You
don't know,
understand?
I don't
So
know.
Yeah.
men and women are held at different standards, and it's just but in terms of we have, like she said, a rape culture.
Yeah.
So we look at women differently, and men get away with a lot of nonsense when it comes to their approaches to women.
Yeah.
Because there's an example I like, right? We are a big homophobic nation, right? Especially males.
Largely.
Right? And the main issue men have, right? They don't want no man coming on to them.
Right.
But if you look at the way they approach women,
Yeah.
they do the same things they don't want a gay man to do to them.
Yeah.
The way they
I'm trying
approach
to
women.
process this now. I'm trying.
Okay.
It's still a little different.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a little different.
I never thought of it
Okay.
like that either. But
Let me-
it's a good
it's different.
perspective.
Let me tell you
No,
why.
It's a great perspective.
Because if you look, hey, sweet girl, like men are very aggressive when it comes to coming on to women, right? Mm-hmm. Very aggressive.
Yeah.
Very inappropriate in a lot of aspects too. Very inappropriate. Say inappropriate things and have inappropriate approaches.
Yeah.
But if a man would feel like, it's just the hypocrisy. If a man even feels like a man is looking at him
they won't fight.
in
They
a
won't
kind of
fight.
way, it's
Yeah.
a big fight. He have a problem with
Yeah,
that, but
they
he
won't
have
fight.
no problem doing that to a woman.
Yeah.
He have no
Understood.
problem
Yeah.
objectifying a woman like that.
Yeah.
But if it's done to him, it's an issue.
Yeah.
So we hypocrites.
Yeah. Big time.
You know what I mean? And I say all the time, we've built this country, our foundation is built on hypocrisy.
And y'all are asking, well, how can someone engage in these sorts of activities or feel as though that they can impose themselves upon other people? Every single solitary day, I can guarantee you, if you wanted to place a bet on me being able to walk down the road, if I was wearing a burqa or a bikini, it wouldn't make any difference, really.
Yeah.
If I were to walk down the road, I would get however many.
Yeah. That's the truth.
However many catcalls,
the
however
truth.
many
Well, I see
bits of harassment, however many invitations to have a conversation when I'm just trying to get where I'm going.
I see, and I see
I
it every
shouldn't
day.
be
And
subject to that.
And as a man, maybe
that's where the crux of all of these issues stem from. Men in the Bahamas, Caribbean, wider region at large feel entitled.
Yes.
First of all,
great word.
to women's time, space, attention, etc.
That's the truth.
And that should not be the case. I don't feel entitled when I see you walking. Oh, you're my cousin.
Yeah, because
But if
I would hope not.
If I see a good-looking guy walking down the road, I'm not gonna catcall at them.
right.
If I would, let me tell you a story that I always tell. We were doing a hollaback session where we were just doing play acting with different street harassment scenarios with some 12 and 13-year-olds at a school. So we did this scenario where someone was catcalling to a girl, and it was just like commonplace. Then I said, okay, I'm going to act as though like maybe I'm like 24 and this person is whatever, and so I'm going to catcall at them. And when I catcall at that little boy, they were like, what?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? They just first they didn't know what to do with themselves. They were so just dumbfounded.
Yeah.
But a guy catcalling at a girl or a man catcalling at a girl was just like, oh, okay. I mean, that happens all the time.
Yeah, that's commonplace.
So one time, and you may know this old joke, I was driving with my wife, and we was driving kind of slowly through an area, and so a fella sitting on the side of the street blew
You ain't got the motion.
I remember that
Clearly you don't
story.
do that. You have to extend it.
I ain't got it right.
I remember this one.
Yeah, he blew a kiss at my wife, right? So
That's the worst. That is the worst.
thank you, and that's entitlement. Now I'm with my wife,
Right.
and he blew a kiss at her. So you know what I did, right, Terneille?
Knock him down. I'm sorry, no.
No, I look at him. I did this.
You put some extra like head motion in
You
it.
know what I mean? Look here.
Well, it gets right back at it.
He didn't know what to do with
He fall
himself.
off that
He did not know. It was first he was stunned.
Yeah.
But you all in laughing. So I'm like,
But that's the perfect holler back.
Thank
you
you.
just holler back.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Now you see how this feels.
Right.
You don't disrespect me like that.
Right.
And so I he was with his boys on the block. He got disrespected because a dude blew the hell out of a kiss at him. He didn't know what to do.
But he was quite fine blowing kiss at your
He was
wife.
fine blowing a kiss at my wife. That's
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like when younger people in particular do it to me, and I actually have a minute to stop, I say no, that's not happening.
Yeah.
You don't speak to a woman that way.
Amen.
And then they sometimes apologize, and whenever I cross the street and a younger man passes, I always take a gamble, like a bet, like it's always going to be 50-50, whether they say good afternoon,
Right,
or whether they say, hey, sweet girl, what you saying? No.
It's
And
sad.
I'm sad every time it happens the other way, because whenever they say good afternoon, I feel like it's a little victory and I smile.
Yeah.
I say, oh my goodness, there's hope.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this
That's-
story. I can talk Keitra business now, right?
Oh, Lord.
Don't get in trouble.
Keitra been in the drug store on our corner, right? To get something. The parking boys, little parking boys, gotta be maybe 13, 12. She had on some short pants or whatever. And they's talking loud in the back of her. Well, you see that big bongi, eh? But here's the worst thing with the little parking boy say. He say, you see that? I'll skin that and I ain't pulling out. Parking boy! This is the mentality we have in this country.
He took that term packing to heart, I see.
Exactly.
Man,
This is
man,
a teenage
he up that
parking
way.
boy.
Man.
I would have talked to that boy. I would have. Do you keep trying to say nothing to him?
Trust me.
I would have had a conversation with him.
But this is what I'm saying. But this is where we're at.
Yeah.
This,
I'm like,
we
how
are
old are
raising.
you?
Yeah.
We are raising little monsters.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
prey
On
on young
Yeah.
girls in this country. Because if you are a freaking 12, 13-year-old parking boy and you talking about skinning and not pulling out and thing, where it come from?
Yeah.
Well, clearly it came from the environment that
Yeah.
they grew up in.
Yeah.
But
it's
this is what I'm
okay.
saying. We don't seem to want to address that.
But how do we address
the
this,
root of
though?
the issue?
I mean, how do we address it? That's my biggest question. I mean, because number one, It's routed. It's the environment that these guys are growing up in. They look up to the fools who gonna call cat calls at Terneille when she walking on the street. They learn it. They emulate. They do that. That's to them. That's the norm.
But that's the problem.
How do we teach that this ain't normal, dude? This ain't right.
Stuff like the suggestions you made that I again think are very, very valid to put into policy or even law if possible. And something like, for me, if it's an older person that impregnates a minor, they should automatically do a fetal DNA test and use that to automatically send that person to jail, in my opinion. So these are things I think need to be in the law. But when you start to create that sort of change, it changes the culture, it changes the dynamic. It doesn't put all the fault and the blame and the onus on the girl.
Right.
It now balances out on the boy as well.
Right.
Stuff like that. I'm not saying that in particular only, but a lot of things like that could help.
I agree. And it ain't, and, it won't be a solve all problems, but at least these people will start to know that, man, there's some repercussions to what you do. There's consequences to your actions.
Yeah.
You can't just wantonly, you can't be feral and just do what the hell you want and just get away with it. No, it can't. That's not a healthy. That's not a healthy society.
But you asked an important question, and I think it's the question that we don't ask enough.
What's that?
How do we fix it and address it? Because we don't even want to talk about it, much less address it. And like I said, we have a cultural issue.
Yeah.
We have a rape culture.
Yeah.
Men see women as
Yeah.
weak cattle that they supposed to prey upon, take advantage of, and then kick to the side. And they come up in environments and neighborhoods around people that pass this mentality down to them.
Now, I gonna say, I wouldn't want to say a more civilized society, but even European countries and like our neighbors up north or next to us in the U.S., these same type of people exist. Same conditions exist. But the only difference is that there's legislature in place where you receive the consequences of your actions. And I think we need to see some of that, a little bit more of that here right now.
And also from the technological standpoint, when it comes to forwarding illegal images and things like that, you actually implicate yourself when you forward a message.
Amen.
Yes, and you are committing a crime. That is a crime by sharing child pornography.
We need to look into the processes, the department itself related to the data protection, and ensure that they are doing and capable of doing every single possible thing that we can to enforce those sorts of laws. But before we even really crack down on that, we need to create massive public awareness on them. Because things like this that the everyday Bahamian have access to through social media, WhatsApp, people forwarding videos and that. Some might be innocent viewers, that sort of thing. Hey, if you get this, blah, 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 here's what you do. These are the consequences if you don't do that, that sort of thing.
They're not going to cringe on. But the counter to that can be, well, now, this y'all getting into our privacy now. If y'all, if that's my WhatsApp, I send that. I mean,
no.
I'm just saying how people think.
Well, they could think that way all they want. Or you could think all you want.
Right, because I say once you send it out there into cyberspace, you should receive a call from somebody. If you would name superintendent or constable or whatever. And even if just to light your hip up for a minute.
Yeah, and I think Muriel was asking, I think we get a call. You can put on the headphones, someone calling in right now. I think that's Muriel. But on that note of crime is a crime. I don't care if it's your WhatsApp or whatever. Let me bring it around, A crime is a crime. So you could claim your WhatsApp if you sharing child pornography. That is against the law. And these people, like I said in the and Collie, you could call us back. I don't know what happened. I guess the call dropped, but you could call back. But I don't know. I think a lot of those people also aren't aware that what they were doing are actual crimes. They weren't aware that they were committing crimes. So they were just willy-nilly saying, hey, send me the video, and knowing that the child is underage in the video. It didn't seem, so I know they cannot be aware that it's a crime. I don't think they would be that open if they knew that it was a crime and there would be consequences for them not only requesting but sharing this video.
I didn't see to determine, so I don't know. I mean, if someone is 14, you can tell most of the time that they're 14.
Yeah. It should be made a crime.
Caller, hello, welcome on the rug.
Hello.
Hello.
Everybody. I'm Morel, or Lady Jarama.
Yes, ma'am.
What's going on?
All is well. How you doing, sis?
Everything good, sis. I am loving this topic that you guys are talking about.
Thank you. You have a contribution to make?
Yes, I definitely do.
Go ahead.
This is something that I definitely I definitely research into, and I look into different cultures, and I watch how people handle this kind of thing. And I think, I don't know your names, but I know that one of you guys had mentioned about that is an epidemic, not just in the Bahamas, but even in European countries. Right. And that's so true, because women, especially with the introduction of feminism and everything, women have been fighting against these type of things for years. And in the Bahamas, it's like, it really isn't getting any different. And Taryn, it's getting worse.
Right.
And when I look at social media and I watch these videos, you have so much time, like you said earlier, the woman getting blamed. Exactly, like, you have a child who is 13 years old, and this man who's 50, everybody's saying, what's wrong with that little girl? Why is she doing that? She needs to do better. Right. And the bus driver who's 50, who been through life, who should know better, and isn't getting any repercussions. Right. And I'll tell you now, as a teacher, I can definitely see the difference between male students and female students. Female students they tend to be more disciplined. They tend to listen more. You don't have to talk to them. Parents tend to work harder, be harder with their daughters. But with their sons, they just breeze through life.
So again, it's that double standard. Like, there's different rules apply to their sons and their daughters. Yeah.
That very much so. And this thing is so scary, because it doesn't just even affect just the sexual nature, but this is how we're raising our children.
I agree.
We're raising our sons to be lazy. We're raising them to be laid back. And by the time they're ready to even form a relationship with anybody, they feel that the fact that they bring in a penis is enough to, sorry, I can say that word.
Yeah, man, you can say whatever you want to say.
They feel that it's enough. And the woman have to be able to cook, clean, board children, take care of the children. And if they can't do any of this thing, they're worthless.
Well, I go ahead.
Go.
No, I was going to say I agree with what you're saying. But I think now, especially nowadays, it's starting to that's starting to be the case with not only the sons but the daughters as well. That they are becoming a lot looser with daughters as well. And you don't even have to be like, you don't have to be that harsh, rough, tough, I can choke you, kick you in your chest type of parent. I think that's actually where we went wrong. And this is just now a result of us doing that, and these children are now rebelling. You know what I mean? Because not everyone is going to fare that approach. So I think we seek respect from our children in the wrong ways. We seek respect from fear as opposed to admiration. And this is why you have certain people that have, like, people that your children look up to would have more influence over your children. Like, say, the celebrities or their friends or whatever, because they admire them. Their respect comes out of admiration. And we have for far too long tried to use fear to get respect from our children. And I think it's now we are now reaping those seeds that we planted a long time ago. And this is just a rebellion. And I don't think we are trying to address that. I don't think we're trying to figure out why are the girls making these decisions. What's leading to this? We just want to deal with it, like we just want to react. You know what I mean?
But call up.
Well, I think that definitely goes all the way back to what you were saying about the fair tactic. Being a teacher too, I realize a lot of the girls, they tend to draw to me. Like they talk to me and they wanna be close. And what I'm seeing a lot of is just a lot of self-hate. They don't have any worth to themselves. And I feel that we come from a very judgmental and critical culture as well.
Yes.
Your hair picky, your foot big. You know, if they growing breasts and hip at an early age, they're looked at that like look at you, why you shaped like this? What? And it's just females especially, I just feel like we're judged so quickly and so early on. And because we don't understand it, and we can't even, and I can say we because I know this is a problem of mine too.
Okay.
And you can't separate the criticism. You can't separate criticism from hate sometimes. And you feel like because somebody's saying that criticism, it means hate. It means that I need to hate these parts of myself too.
Right. You wanted to ask something, Stevie?
Yeah, I mean, hey, Carl, how you doing?
Hey. Stevie.
My thing is, how do we bring men and fathers back into this whole equation? Because if you look in the schools, and I ain't trying to be sexist, it's pretty, most of the teachers are predominantly female. My wife's an educator; she's a teacher. You got very few guys who's running softball and baseball camps and soccer camps and all that. Then I'd say that 70% of our role models out there on the streets doing crap, and that's what the little boys learning from. How do we get men back into the equation? Because I feel like that's what we need. I'm not saying that a female can't raise a man. It's just that us men have lowered ourselves to substandard as humans, if you ask me.
Very true.
And
I personally, I agree with that so much because as a female teacher, I don't too much like to.
Now, when I say substandard, I don't. I mean, I'm being trying to be a little funny with it. We've given up. I won't say our right, but we've given up the whole job of helping to raise these males, and the females taking on the job as mom, pops, educator, provider.
Definitely.
Everything, and it's shown in the home when I grew up with 6 sisters, but my mother's like, oh no boy, you're gonna learn to iron your own flipping clothes. You're gonna have to learn how to wash your own clothes, and on Saturdays you gotta wash the 2 cars that are out there and empty the garbage. She didn't raise no dudes, no louse. And plus, and another plus that a whole bunch of dudes can't even say is that my pops was always there, present, always.
That is very true.
So I mean, I see it from a different point of view. I see it as there's an absence of men.
Well, you talked about teachers first,
right?
So I mean, I know when we talk about sometimes like how there's a disproportionate amount of women in politics and things like that. The UN actually has prescriptions where they might support affirmative action to try to get at least a certain benchmark of female political candidates, that sort of thing. It could work the same in terms of male teachers, I think.
I agree.
Affirmative action.
I agree.
I agree too. Like I was saying, I am very wary about counseling the boys because I'm a female, and sometimes these students may not just see me as a teacher. Like you were saying, these 12, 13-year-old boys, they
see you as a sexual object.
Exactly. And it's like, even if I talking to them, or if I decide to just pull them aside and talk to them, they may not even be listening to the words I'm saying. They may be just looking at me and thinking a bunch of different things. Like, this woman can't talk to me about being a man, because they already probably don't respect what I have to say anyway.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with you guys when you say that we need more of a male presence in children like activities where children are.
Yeah, especially little boys. Right.
We do, because I'm not gonna lie, those little boys. Today I just saw one grade 4 boy seeking at a grade 6.
Oh, see, wow. learn behavior. Learn behavior.
And I was like,
how old are you in grade 4? You were what? You were like what? 8?
Yeah, about 8.
And I'm conflicted about that one because at least he has confidence. But gee, can you display it in a different way, dude? Can you display it in a different way?
Wow.
It's really, as a teacher, the things you see, it's very scary.
Yeah. But these children,
think about these
children, they have a chance.
They do.
Trust me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
These children have a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what we call it. I call them all misguided. They just misguided. That's all they are. They're miseducated. And there's a way to turn it around. We just need to start turning it around yesterday.
Decidedly.
Decidedly.
Yeah. Society. Yeah. We definitely need an overhaul in our thinking.
Yeah.
We don't need no more. To me, I don't feel we need any more hotels. We don't need no more.
Process that's going to take place over generations. So that's how we have to address the issue. But thank you, Ms. Hutchison. Thank you for calling in so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. Please continue to tune in and comment. We appreciate it.
No problem. Janelle, take care.
You too, sis.
Alrighty.
So we have this thing called the Gender-Based Violence Task Force Report that was tabled, I believe, in 2015 after a couple of years of work by people like Dr. I think she's a Dr. Ruby Nottage, former justice, and Sandra Dean Patterson, and a bunch of people from a bunch of different sectors related to that sort of stuff. My thing is, we get these reports, we establish these laws, like the Marcos Law. Now what? I mean, years later now. This ain't like 2 minutes later. Years later, now what?
Yeah.
What's next?
Now what? I mean, we've been part of CEDAW for since 1994.
Yeah,
and nothing come out of that.
Well, I see. Erin Green is coming. She give a list. This is things to do.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. Let's run down this list, and then we can discuss it afterwards. Number 1, continue to talk about it. Number 2, advocate for sexual offenses court to speed up the process of prosecution. Number 3, train and educate all stakeholders about rape culture and how to diminish it. Police, teachers, nurses, doctors, Ministry of Education staff, etc. Partner with Chamber of Commerce and Employers Federation. Proper bus system, 24 hours with proper bus stops, stations, lighting, emergencies, and comms. I don't know which comms that means, but okay, emergency communications, I would guess. Get the churches on board. Focus on early childhood education, but the church is too busy worrying about gambling. But anyhow, focus on early childhood education.
And gays.
Yeah, they worry about gays and gambling. These issues don't seem to upset them.
Okay.
And the last one is we need community, psychological, and mental health services and programs.
Bang.
Now, I always said we need, instead of a Ministry of Social Services, I think we need a Ministry of Social Development and Services.
Because no, just take out the services.
No, I mean,
just leave development.
Yeah, just leave development. You could have to initially do some services to get to the developmental stage.
Right, but I think we need to focus that ministry needs to focus more on the development of us socially. You know what I mean? I don't think we do enough when it comes to socially developing our country. So I think that's what we really need, and we need to put the right people in place, man. Because the things I hear, we already know that we have a parenting issue in this country.
Yeah.
It's obvious we have a parenting issue. But we are faced with a dilemma of, okay, we have these bad parents, right? If you take the children from that environment, then what do you do with them? Because what I've heard about the homes that we place these children in are oftentimes worse or just as bad as the homes that they come from. Now, it may not be in terms of, like if they come from a home where there's sexual abuse, there may not be sexual abuse, but there's verbal abuse, there's neglect, there's just disdain towards the children that are in these homes. So we need to revamp the homes that we put these children in, because you shouldn't take them from a bad environment to another bad environment or worse environment. So we have to be cognizant of the environment that we raise our children in.
Yeah.
But back to that bad parenting phrase. I mean, again, it might just be a cyclic thing where these people grew up in abusive or situations that weren't conducive to their well-being, and then they just impose it upon their children.
Oh, definitely.
So is it that this is always a question, even when it comes to the rehabilitation and stuff of offenders. A lot of people say, oh, we should just focus on the youth because, you know, those people are too far gone and all that stuff. That's why I think Aaron's last point was saying have a systematic social and psychological something. There are plenty of adults out there who have been given the responsibility of rearing children or taking it on or whatever that never got reared themselves as children.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
Are we just going to yuck the people out the home and say, look here, you're a bad parent, and then that's it?
Oh, no. And I'm not saying just take the children and neglect the parents. And I think what you said couldn't be more true. I think that is exactly what's happening in most circumstances, is that these people were not raised in good environments themselves. So they are only doing what they've known their entire lives. So it's not a matter of just taking the children and just leaving them be.
Were you on the protest where there was a guy who was kind of inebriated that walked past, and we had the mic and everything, and he had this scowl on his face. So as he walked past, I was like, what happened? You want to say something?
Which one was it? Which protest was it?
I can't even keep track. This was years ago.
Okay.
But anyway, when I gave him the mic, he said, man, I'm an ex. That's probably the same one. And October 2014, man, I'm an ex-con or whatever, and nobody ever really tried to see what was going on with me because I grew up and I was a victim of abuse and all this kind of stuff. And I in Teen Challenge now, and I try, and clearly I ain't succeeding to the fullest, but I trying to do my best. So y'all talking about stiffer penalties for these people and all that, but y'all ain't even really trying to see where they coming from and blah 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 blah.
And
blah,
that's a whole new talk show right there.
He talking 20
that's
minutes.
important.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what the focus needs to be.
That's a huge thing because a lot of these fellas did their time. And come out and they can't get a passport, they can't get a police record, they can't do this, they can't get a job because...
And our rate of recidivism is...
horrible, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I mean, because it's designed like that.
Right,
I mean, you could expect that.
When they come out, they can't do nothing. They can't do nothing but go back to what they know because they can't do nothing. We don't... I was talking to a young fella at a gas station. He got caught when he was about 19 with some weed, right? And he said, man, look here, I working here, I working hard, you see, but I really want a government job, but I can't even get no passport, I can't get a police record, because you need a police record to get this and that, and so the whole thing goes just dominoes because of one mistake. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be punished for what he did, but it goes back again to what y'all said.
I'm saying he shouldn't.
There's some.
Not for that
I'm saying he should be.
Not for that.
On our books, it's still a crime.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know me. I'm a huge.
It's a dumb law, but I get what you're saying.
Right. I don't think nobody with some of these.
It's ridiculous.
But the thing is that, yes, okay, he served he got his punishment, but now give the boy a chance, just like you say. There's no rehabilitation. No, okay, we're gonna bring you back into society now to let you shine again, and this is your second chance. There's none.
And that preventative process I was talking about with would-be perpetrators in sexual offenses or whatever, I think would even be able to be employed post-release and stuff like that. Or maybe there needs to be a certain mandate, like you have to fulfill this procedure, whether it's for the rest of your life or what. There has to be something in place, and probably this would be as a part of the compendium of regulations related to the sexual offenses registry or something like that. But if an offender of sexual abuse, particularly against minors, is released, what happens at that point? Because they still have their human rights that we have to uphold. But we also want to know, hey, that you have been either rehabilitated or that you are doing everything in your power to ensure that you never, ever, ever repeat that offense again.
Right.
And I think that's our problem. We too focus on just punishment. Every time when I listen to people speak about people that like you said, made mistakes or done crimes or whatever, we so quick to just punish. But we don't want to focus on, like you said, the rehabilitation process, or even prior to that, preventative measures, so that they won't end up in these situations. And back to when it comes to the family and bad parenting, right? Because I think that's what that plays a huge role in what we started discussing when it comes to the young girls making certain decisions. Well, not just young girls, but the men making these bad decisions as well.
Hold on, let me just say for the record, young children, minors, don't have the mental, physical, spiritual capacity to make certain decisions. That's why they considered. That's why they call it the age of consent.
Agreed.
Well, if you don't have the capacity to consent to a particular act, that means that you can't really take on the level of responsibility that an adult can. That's why we're saying it's against the law. If we were in some other barbaric place, it might be different, but we're not.
No, I get that. I understand what you're saying. Fully understand what you're saying. However, at the end of the day, they are making decisions. You understand? So you saying that they are not capable of making decisions does not stop them from actually making the decisions. You understand what I'm saying? That puts them in the situation, right? So I want to address. I want to address what's leading to them actually making these decisions first. You see, because we could say that they clearly are victims and they shouldn't be doing these things, but they're doing it. So I'm about stopping it from happening. Whatever we need to do to prevent that from happening is what I'm about. So back to the parenting issue. Like I said, it's not a matter of just taking kids and throwing away the parents. I just want them to be raised in an environment that's conducive to them being successful and being able to contribute to society in positive ways, right? Whether that be with their parents, because people can turn around. I have not always been this way. You know what I mean?
You get
You've-
savvy.
No, please. Saved from what? But anyhow,
Yourself.
I'm sure you have not always been this way. You have not always been this way. We've all had times where we've evolved as humans. So we can't say that the parents, although they may have not been raised in what we consider to be good or positive environments, there's still that opportunity for them to turn around. So I think we need some more programs or better programs for parents, as opposed to, because I hear people say all the time, oh, we need to punish the parents. But I don't ever agree with that.
Oh, hell no.
I don't ever agree with that, because I've seen
unless you have evidence that the parent is the one that's...
Oh, if they're involved.
Involved. Or
because I'm sure I've seen, and I'm sure you all have seen, children that were raised in what we would consider to be more than good environments, but the children still make bad decisions.
Right.
How can you punish a parent for that?
Right.
But I hear people say all the time, you need to punish the parents. That's nonsense. Oh, you need to force them to take parenting classes. That's nonsense. We all know that human beings tend to be rebellious in a lot of circumstances where they can be, right? So as opposed to forcing parents to take part in parental programs, how about we find a better way to encourage them? Make it some fun activity or something that they want to take part in that also gives them tips on parenting or shows them better ways to raise children.
Have lunch and then do it on a weekday. If they're working, they get a pass.
You know what? That's an idea. That's an idea. But I mean, you want them to want to do it. You know what I mean? As opposed to trying to force, because I think people tend to participate more when it's something that they want to do, as opposed to something they're forced to do. So I think we should find creative ways to get parents to partake in more activities with their children and help them to learn how to better raise their children.
Back to the flip side of what you were saying about parenting laws. There is a law in the books that if any adult, I guess, is aware that a child is being abused in any way, and they do not report it, they can actually serve jail time.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, when has that ever been enforced?
There was a mother in Grand Bahama last year, I think, that was actually arrested for that.
Really? I didn't hear about that.
Particularly parents, because they know that parents are the closest to the children, but parents, teachers, doctors, caregivers, guidance counselors, family members, I think are all, it's applicable to people who caretake children.
That's interesting.
If you know a child is being abused and you do nothing about it, you are culpable.
Oh, wow.
Well, I agree with that.
I
just didn't
totally
know it was a law.
Yeah,
It's a law.
Wow. I need to pull that up and post that somewhere. I got to look that up. But then again, it goes back to enforcement.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things are laws.
You got plenty of laws
But-
in the books.
But that's where civil society comes in, because we have to advocate for these things that are already in place to be enforced. You know, my work with anti-corruption reform is the same thing. We have tons and tons of laws that should prevent corruption and all these sorts of things. We just don't enforce them.
No, because you get killed.
Well, that's interesting. But now, with this, we're going to wrap up in a few minutes. But I want to address now something we briefly touched on earlier, and it's these dirty, disgusting, old farts who go around preying on these young girls
Yeah.
and get away scot-free. They end up having a relationship, picking up the girl from school. You know what I mean? And they picking up the gals from school. I remember when I was in high school, I used to see big grown man picking up gals from school.
Yeah, it's the R. Kelly syndrome.
It's always been around, but nothing ever seems to be done about it. It's like with we have I think Pace is the program, right, with the underage girls that are pregnant.
Pregnancy.
Right. I see Pace always has students, right? But I don't ever hear about the men, because women can't get pregnant by themselves unless technology has advanced, and I don't know about it yet.
If that happens, let me know, please.
Yeah, because I don't know about it. I don't know, but it seems that it's happening in the Bahamas, because I see a lot of women big up, but not even women. A lot of young girls getting big up, but I don't see any men being hauled before the courts for impregnating them.
That's going back to
That's
what we were
what I'm
talking about
telling you.
earlier.
If there's a way to do a fetal DNA test, that needs to be mandated by law. Anybody who might be suspect or that they investigate might be the father has to be given that test. And if you are found to be the father and you have impregnated an underage girl, you go directly to jail. You don't even have no bunch of wasting no court time.
Yeah.
But you know what I hear? You know what a lot of times is be the family of the girl covering
Cloaking.
up for the man. And you know what? A lot of reasons that I hear all the time is
Prostitution.
Oh, well, Stevie got it. He putting money.
Perks.
Well, yeah, you're right. Prostitution. He bringing money.
Yeah.
Well, hey, he buy me this new furniture set.
But he
paying the light bill and paying the rent. So why I can't send him up? I can't report him to the police because they could take him to jail, and then I don't have this stream of income.
Mm-hmm. You going to jail then? Keep it up. Let me find out.
But this is a problem that we need to address because apparently it's quite common. This happens all the time because I've heard it from many.
That's where you would need bystander intervention. Because in the Bahamas, we have this thing where, oh, no, I ain't getting in that.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to use wisdom with to what extent you get into something. Because I remember getting in the middle of a fight between two guys before, and I end up with a little scar from my...
that wasn't a good decision.
The broom. But I mean...
A broom?
The
This
broom
man was
broke.
fighting with weapon and you try to stop them?
Anyway, it was like I was in grade 10 or something.
Wow.
So that wasn't too wise. I don't know what I should have done. But
Right. You wanted to do something though.
yeah, if you're able to do something, particularly as neighbors, and if you could do it in a savvy, slick way where the perpetrator ain't gonna know what's going on, or you could make it seem like you're not a threat, or be like, hey man, or you like sometimes you might go after the victim and be like try to help them, and then sometimes you might try to distract the perpetrator or something. It depends. You have to weigh the odds and weigh the situation, but at very least, if you know that it might escalate or is already at the place where it shouldn't be, secretly call on your phone the cops or text or WhatsApp or something like that. But in an instance where you might be neighbor to a child that's subject to domestic violence or that might be being abused themselves and this sort of thing, you have to speak up, man. Even if you call the crisis center, if you don't want to call the cops, there's the crisis center, there's social services, there are a lot of options. We just have to start caring about each other enough
to take
that
action.
we don't just say, man, it ain't my headache.
To take action. Stevie, I want to ask you before we go.
Go ahead.
Now you have raised young women.
Yep.
Now, right? What advice can you give to parents in terms of dealing with the roller coaster that is raising young girls into women? How do you deal with certain issues when it comes to when they start? Because let's be honest, right? We are human beings.
Right.
We have hormones.
Right.
We have certain feelings. They have these sexual urges from these tender ages. So how do you approach your children?
How did I?
You know what I mean? And have those conversations that you would hope would steer them to make the right decisions. Now, I know that's a deep one. That's a heavy one.
This is a deep one.
That's a heavy one.
Oh no.
But I see you successfully raised 3 daughters, and none of them got pregnant at that early young tender age. So I mean, just any tips you could share, because I all about solutions, right? And it may not be, it may not work for everybody, but it may be applicable in certain situations. How do you, because my own only 4 now, but I can have to go through that myself. So this a little bit for me too. When it comes to those, that tender age where they start to get them feelings, how do you, deal with that situation?
Jeez. You had to hit me with the heavy.
Look at Terneille.
I trying to find help and I can't.
Because this is what people ask. They want to know what they're supposed to do.
On plenty of occasions, I made my girls feel uncomfortable with the all right, sit down, let's go. Let's go have a little talk. Let's talk about this now. You're killing my mojo. I can't believe you're talking. I don't feel. I got all of that, but.
So you actually you sat them down to have the conversation?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't.
Yeah, yes.
So that's important. Do that.
I had the conversation.
Like at what age?
Oh Lord. 14 was when I really remember talking about it.
So who had the period conversation? Mommy?
I mean, I grew up with 6 sisters, man.
So you had all the conversations?
So the period thing, I remember when I ain't call her name.
Yeah, one of them.
Right. One of them had theirs, and I was the only one around. I was like, hey, oh, yeah. All right, here's what you do.
Way to go,
but it was taken care of.
That's my cousin.
That's right. That's right. But the thing is, fathers, I think even more than mothers.
Talking to the mic.
Oh, sorry. I think fathers gotta have that talk. They got to get out of that comfort zone and say, "All right, baby girl, let's sit down. Let's talk. Let me say some things to you." When my oldest daughter was going off to college, I took her for a long drive.
Wow.
One of them long drives.
Mm.
And I just let her know. I said, look, you going off to college. Mommy ain't there, daddy ain't there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything will be at your disposal. Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't saying that you don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, look, remember what you going to school for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of a sobering thing to say, hey, remember this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's consequences if you do that.
Right.
I'm not, I'm a realist.
Right.
I am not, I've never
too.
told any of my kids not to have sex before marriage.
Right.
I've always said, look, this is what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is
If you could do it,
if you
this-
if you do it,
right,
you do this,
right,
and you do that.
right.
That's to me. That's the realist.
And I share.
And I said, hold up, I got a son.
Go
Because
ahead.
remember, we still
Oh,
got the
yes,
boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know? And my son's 21. And like
Okay.
I told him, I said, I don't care about you choking your chicken. That's fine.
Right. Actually, you need to choke it more so you don't do nothing
Yeah, you
stupid.
need it right. You need it right. I said, I ain't got no problem. You
Yeah.
could do that all you want.
Yeah.
I said, look, my problem is you sticking that in some funny
Yeah.
places. I
Yeah.
said, number one, same conversation with the girls. You could get this, you this, this,
Right.
this, that. But the difference is that we have no evidence of him having sex. Evidence of girls. The evidence is when they get pregnant,
Mm.
right? That's when we get pissed off. We don't get pissed that they're having sex. We get pissed at the evidence of it, or disease or something.
I got you.
So I tell him, I said, look, dog, look, man, you stick it the wrong place and something happens. Just like we said earlier, I say, you pregnant. I said, you pregnant. Just understand that whether you in high school or wherever the hell you at, you going to every doctor visit. And like I always proposed, I said, and every other weekend, you're going to be dealing with a little crying baby. And you will get a job, summer job, whatever it is. I'll continue to support it as long as if he's a teenager. But he is going to have to take on those responsibilities.
Good.
Wow, that's big.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That
I
you
did.
did it.
And you could ask that man now. I call him a man now.
Yeah.
Ask
He
him
is.
now. And he'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, boy, that's what he say, yeah.
Yeah, but that's important. And I think that's the issue is too often parents don't have those conversations and they learn from the wrong people.
Yeah.
They go to school, they learn from their friends and the people around the
And
neighborhood.
that's another huge thing I used to say to my big grown kids. I used to say the same. I said, look, man, you can learn anything on the streets and at school with your little dumb friends. Because they going to tell you all the wrong stuff. I said, this is where you going to learn. You can hear this from me. And that's how we did it.
Yeah, because I like you, I may be even more of a realist, right? I listen. my little girl, before she find a condom the other day, right? I ain't make up no story. I don't lie.
Yeah.
I don't lie. I honest with my child.
Yeah.
And one thing when she get older, what she know and appreciate is that daddy ain't try lie or make up something.
Mom, what you say? Mom, what you tell her?
I tell her what it is. I say this is a condom.
So
Right.
you
And
don't,
you better make sure them little piss tail fellas when they come around you when you get old, you better have it.
what? Wait.
That's what I tell her.
That's the first lesson.
No, that's not in the first lesson, but she
I
probably
mean-
she probably don't remember it. But that's what I told her at the time.
So you didn't put it in context of mommy and daddy. You put it in the context of her. She's 5.
She can get you on that one now.
Hey, listen,
Oh my gosh.
listen, it coming,
I mean,
it
hey.
coming. Them little feelings, they can start.
Yeah.
course.
And I plan to have the conversation just like you. I probably just can have it even earlier because
Yeah, probably about 9.
even earlier from
8.
Yeah.
Actually, start 8.
Yeah,
Or
early.
some-
Well, you know.
I know some countries they start in kindergarten.
Yeah.
That's
They have
true.
sex ed
Well,
in kindergarten.
see, well,
Those
yeah.
and
and
those
those countries have
have
a
the
lower
lowest
rate
birth
of
of
teenage pregnancy.
Well, mine came. My older girls came.
Well, yeah,
They
your
came to me
situation
as
is different.
teenagers,
Yeah, your
right.
situation is different. Yeah. But I mean, like, the interesting thing is us who don't have these conversations and like to play that these things ain't happening. We have probably one of the highest rate, I would dare to say, in the world. I don't have the numbers. You probably know better than I do. But I think we have one of the highest teenage pregnancy rates on this side of the world. And the ones that teach it from early, kindergarten, and expose children to it and educate them about it. Because I think that's key. Education, right? Educate the children about it. They have the lower rates. Because you give the children the right information.
Yeah,
Because like you
the
said,
right information
yeah,
is
because if they
correct.
get it off the street, they getting the wrong information, and
Yeah.
they could most likely make the wrong decisions
Yeah,
because
they
of that.
will. They will.
So I think that's the issue.
I mean,
deal
they're
with.
human. So
Yeah, they're human. They have the feelings, and we like to vilify girls
Yeah.
for being human beings.
Yeah.
They ain't doing nothing but being human beings.
And celebrate boys?
Exactly. I agree. And we do.
Yeah, and we should
unfortunately.
celebrate them, not when they do stupidity.
Right, but
No, I mean for the
Yeah.
same thing though. Vilify the
Yeah,
girls,
vilify the girls
for
and
sexuality,
right,
and
and
celebrate the boys.
boys.
for
And that's
sexuality.
a huge fact because the boys are celebrated on the streets. Because
Yeah.
once a little dude from primary school, I was hearing these things.
yeah.
I mean, I used to hear the lies that my friend said, and I
And
knew
you
it.
old. You've been in primary school a long time.
Yeah, about 5 years ago. I mean, like she said, the boys are celebrated.
Yeah.
Boy, look at boy, and I had that
Yeah,
dread, and the
yeah.
boys, they part them high fiving, and I was
Yeah.
like, dog, did you work on them? Did you
Can
think
it
that she
fit?
could get pregnant?
One saying when I
You
was working at a particular company, they used to say condom for cowards. I say,
Man, no man.
But-
I ain't believe that
but
at
that's
all.
how it is in this country. We got some issues. Anyhow, we've been over an hour. I wish we could stay a lot longer and discuss, but these some busy people. Terneille, she's a busy woman. She's in full campaign mode. She got stuff to do. And if you don't know, Burrows for Elizabeth.
Burrows for Elizabeth.
Burrows or nothing. But anyhow, this was a great discussion. I appreciate you guys for taking time out of your busy schedules.
Thanks for asking to have it on an off day because
Yes.
it's very important.
Yes, it was. Listen, this was on when I saw that in the post that I saw. It was basically the lady just laying out. I don't know how true the information is, but
I don't know
what
either.
she was saying was the girl was 12, the man was 36, and then what followed was the comments with, "Oh, I would put my foot in her chest and do this and that,"
Well,
and
let me
everybody
just
was
say,
vilifying the
if
girl.
you know the age of the girl and the age of the man,
Mm-hmm.
and someone knew the name of the girl, y'all must be able to have an identification.
Exactly.
That's all I'm going
Please
to say.
identify the guy
Exactly.
and get it into the police.
Exactly. So I had to have this discussion, and like I said, my mind immediately went to you. That's why I messaged you right after I saw it. I had to get you on to have this discussion, and we had to have this special edition. Still gonna have the regular show on Thursday, but I
I'm
had to get
glad
this one
Stevie
in.
was there.
Yes,
He had
yes.
it all kind of grandpa inside.
Yes, yes, yes. You know, it's always good to get advice from old people. You know what I mean?
Oh.
She's
it
not
was
that
good.
old. He's not that old.
That's my boy,
Ooh.
man. That's my boy. But it was good to have different perspectives on the issue because it's a serious issue that we're dealing with, and people don't often like to speak about it. And this is
Yeah.
why it continues to happen and perpetuate itself and just become even more prevalent in our society.
Yeah.
But I say, while we're working on these ideas and plans and lists, let's start with what we already have, the Gender-Based Violence Task Force report, as well as the Marcos Law. That's not completed, but we still have some components there. Let's find a way to figure out what we need to happen with these things and cause them to happen, because I would like to see prescriptions for there to be implementation, budgets, schedules, and things like that. Once the task force report has been tabled and agreed upon, I want to see it just like they had for the Person with Disabilities Equal Opportunities Bill. You had to have this in place by a certain timeline and this in place by another. That's what I want to see with these sorts of laws.
Yeah.
I don't want you just to put it on the books and then think
Yeah,
that
just-
we
just-
forgot about it.
Right. Yeah, I
Because if
agree.
that were the case, when all of these things might have been proposed, perhaps some of these issues that we're having now we wouldn't be having. Perhaps things would have been prevented, or perhaps we would have had a system in place that would have better dealt with this situation faster.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yes, so on that note, thank you people for tuning in. Thank you for Ms. Hutchison that gave us that wonderful contribution with that phone call. We appreciate all of you. Please share the video because we need to have these discussions. Too much of y'all want to talk about, politics on a service level and a bunch of nonsense. We need to have these conversations that deal with the real social issues that is leading to the degradation of our society. So we need to have these discussions. So please share the video. Please promote it. We appreciate you for tuning in. And until next time, thank you.
Peace out.
Good job, guys.
Good job, guys.
Great combo. Let me stop this one.
Terneille.
Yes, Stephen.